Regarding downtown, my girl Karen, it was reported they want parents to advise kids not to hang downtown, but won't hold the parents responsible. Why? I remember when my brother and a few friends broke windows and such at a junkyard, the parents had to pay the bill. I don't want to hear they didn't have the money. My parents didn't have the money either, but the damage was paid for. Both out of their pocket and out of my brother's backside. Great stuff. When it comes to raising our children, I realize I am old school. Same here, sister.
That's the show. And I didn't know what they were going to see, but I decided to go because of all the nonsense that you've been talking about on the radio.
Sure.
Well, sure enough, everything was fine. We're getting out of the car, and there was a teenage girl, colored girl, walking down the street, hooting and hollering, telling all the white folk they better watch out because the takeover's going to happen.
Oh, gosh.
And we're all sitting there like, is this really happening? And now, mind you, there was an officer in front of the bedroom, and he just kind of, he really didn't take action because I guess technically she didn't do anything wrong yet. But I literally screaming at the top of her lungs, and you talk about making people uncomfortable.
Wow.
This was a prime example. And
wow.
There was, women, children, the whole nine, and then she crossed the street, and there was a fellow that was probably 15 feet away from her, and there was a guy standing next to me, and she said, "I see you looking at me, and you're smirking, and all this." She got in his face, started yelling.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's wild. You're not being at all sarcastic, and you're not factoring any of this. And I just lived it firsthand. And the only reason why I went is because of the way that you constantly bring more attention on the radio. I would have never known, because it wasn't even like this. I would even say maybe a year ago, I don't think it was like this. And sure enough, any event, anything in the city, honestly, with that being said, I'm probably not going to even go back for a while, just because it really is that bad. But it's just like, what do you do? I mean, you can't, what do you do? What do you say and do?
They better,
You know what I mean?
my man, they better friggin' fix it. It's a great call. It's a great call. And this permeates not just the downtown, but also several communities in Pittsburgh, including the South Side. Folks, this war against unruly teens, they've been battling this on the South Side for how long, Mr. Chupka, the unofficial mayor of the South Side and one of my boys? How long, sir?
Over 7 years, Marty. 7 years. Over.
So this downtown crap with these out-of-control teens is not new or news to you, sir?
Not at all. Actually, it all started during Peduto and Gilman.
Yes.
When Peduto said, if you don't like the homeless, shop in the suburbs.
He did, sir.
And that's exactly what everybody did. And you could see all the vacancies in downtown Pittsburgh and on East Carson Street because of that mentality.
Shocking. Downtown crime is up 50%, sir. Why the hell would anybody be surprised, Rich?
I'm not surprised at all. I invite all the politicians, Beth Penninger, she's making $100,000 a year, Bruce Cross, Gainey, Peduto, to walk East Carson Street at midnight. None of them do.
Hey,
Gilman, he came over on a Tuesday night when it was 20 degrees at 8 o'clock in the afternoon. 8 o'clock at night. There's no one on the streets that said, "Oh, everything's good over here."
My man, how many teen takeovers have you had on the South Side in the last 7 years? 100? I'm serious.
No, in Southside?
Yeah.
Well,
it's almost every weekend.
Yeah, there's teens mixed in there, but the teen takeovers are mostly downtown.
And tell me about this hat you're wearing. I love this.
Yeah, I got hats made. Everybody wanted hats made, say, make Carson Street great again. And so I got them made, and I sold out in about 20 minutes. And the lunatic liberals over in Southside, like Barb Warwick that you had on the other day.
Oh my goodness!
Where you can't even agree on what color red is or whatever.
Wow!
And they're more pissed off that this hat than than the homicides,
It's true.
the vacancies, and everything else that's been happening on Southside for the last 7 years. They're more pissed off about this hat.
But
That's why I got it.
But what you're doing is the right thing, brother. Make it great
yeah.
again over there. What the hell's wrong with saying
Exactly.
that?
Nothing.
Right?
Exactly right.
Make
You know, and Marty, you had your post up about population decline
right.
in Pittsburgh. Now, the city of Pittsburgh overtaxed taxpayers pay $1.5 billion between the Pittsburgh public schools and the city of Pittsburgh, and we have the worst schools. 80% of the teachers don't even send their kids to Pittsburgh public schools. The judges don't send their kids to Pittsburgh public schools. You know, we have poor public safety, poor infrastructure, high taxation. And it goes on. And then you have the mentality of remember there was a fight downtown and a judge, common pleas judge text you said, everything's fine down here.
Yes.
That's the kind of mentality that we're dealing with. You know, people are getting shot and killed and beat up. And you have a judge from the common pleas of Allegheny County saying everything's good down here.
Make Carson Street great again, brother. I'll proudly wear one of those hats, my man.
I'm bringing it down to you, Marty.
Let's go, brother. The unofficial mayor of the South Side, Rich Chupka, my man. Thanks. Truth to power, man. Truth to power.
Thank you, Marty.
Truth to power, man. I've had the police chief on. I've had the public safety director on. These are men that live this and walk this, and all my boys work downtown. This crap that I make this stuff up about downtown that is exaggerated. It's a bald-faced lie. And the truth of the matter is let's walk, brothers. Mr. Paul Herky in his limos, in penthouse apartment, in Gucci bag, and I'm cool with wealth. I'm just not cool with ignorance. What are you afraid of? If downtown is so wonderful, for all these men who suggest I'm ruining the image of downtown, 4 words. Let's take a walk. Let's go. Let's roll live. Let's capture the moments of greatness downtown. I'm in. You in? I'm serious. Not that hard. I challenge anyone who says everything I do is hype, it's exaggerated, the downtown is magnificent. Let's go, man. You pick the day. I pick you. Here's what we'll do. We'll take your walk through your secured building and have a little lunch, Mr. Pollock, because Herky has great restaurants. And then we'll take my walk. How about that? Missy, go ahead. Ma'am, go ahead. Miss Lee?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for your patience.
Hi, Marty.
How are you, darling?
I wanted to get in here. Are you talking? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. We're ready.
You're not. You're awful.
Okay. I have no idea what Miss Lee wanted, but what we had there was a failure to communicate. My brother, Mad Max. Max, the truth will set them free about downtown, will it not, sir?
Yeah, you've been shining that light on it. That little light of mine, you're going to let it shine. You've been nailing it the last couple of days here.
Max, this crap that I'm a liar, that you're a liar, that this is Oz, and we're full of crap is a bald-faced lie, isn't it, Max?
It 100% is. I mean, if it was a lie, you wouldn't have any stuff to report on.
Right.
The ATF raid that happened, well, not the raid, the thing. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. I saw that the ATF and the Pittsburgh police cooperated or worked together to arrest that woman at that parking garage.
So
here we have the feds and the local cooperating.
Hell yeah.
So are we or are we not cooperating with the feds? I'm confused.
By the way, to Max's point, a woman with a gun pulls into the Stanwicks garage, SWAT team's out, ATF's out, scared the hell out of everyone downtown. And ATF was working in conjunction with Pittsburgh police, to Max's point. Max is right on. At the end of the day, folks, Max gets it because Max lives it. How often do you see a crime downtown, whether it's urinating on the street, crapping on the street, a fight on the street, how often, a drug deal on the street? How often, Max?
It's daily, Marty. And, you know, I don't want to paint, you know, gloom and doom, but, I mean, it is what it is. That's the facts. And, you know, to say otherwise is being disingenuous and dishonest with the, you know, everybody downtown that sees it. And, you know, we get pissed off, you know, quit
Right.
gaslighting us and quit lying to us.
Here's what I
You
hate.
know?
Here's what I hate. This is how I met Max. 6 years ago, Max started raising hell about this. 6 years ago, Max built his site, Pittsburgh with an S, and showing men and women crapping on the street. 6 years ago, Max, you begged for public toilets. Still don't have it, sir.
I wish we could go back to that time, Marty. That was a much simpler time when all I cared about was public restrooms. But it's gotten so much worse since then, with the drugs, the crime, the teens, and you know, like Kupka pointed out, it started with Peduto telling everybody to go to the suburbs.
It did.
It started under his watch,
It
and it's
did.
only gotten worse.
It did, and it
and
has.
Gainey just took the torch and carried it.
He did. 50% pop in crime downtown. 50% Max. Not surprised, are you?
No, and the frustrating thing is, you know, these kids come down here and they get released to mommy and daddy,
They do.
and it's the people that work and live downtown that end up suffering. That 54-year-old woman that was assaulted,
Oh, God.
2 weeks ago
Knocked
now.
out, sir.
Not fair to her at all. So what happened to those kids that did that to her? And I told you, maybe it was like a year and a half ago now, and I couldn't believe this when the girl told me at this one store that these kids come in, like these 9-year-old kids come in
9.
and steal the protein bars out of the rack in the front of the store. I said, come on, get out of here. But now, after hearing that thing about the 9-year-old punching that 54-year-old woman, it makes sense.
It does.
These kids are just unsupervised. Where's mom and dad? Where's the accountability at home? Where's the discipline? Where's the guidance, the family values?
My
Why are
man,
these kids downtown just raising hell?
where is a 9-year-old's life headed when they're knocking out a woman at 9 years old? Damn. Max. Damn. Damn.
It's not a good future for these kids if that's the path they're on at this age, for sure.
Mad Max. Truth to power. It's my man.